Hi there, my name is Brian Harrison and I'm a Cloud Solution Architect with Microsoft, and welcome to the Azure Governance 101 series of videos. If you're watching this, you're probably getting this through a blog post that I wrote about Governance 101 and how all of the different services come together to help you make up your governance policy. In this video, I'm going to focus on security, specifically resource lock security. Every single resource inside of Azure has the ability to be locked. Now, what is the importance of this? Locks help you maintain your production environment, making sure that users do not accidentally make changes to a specific production resource. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into one of my resource groups here, and inside of it is just a simple virtual network and single VM. Maybe I'm using this for a particularly small application, whatever, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I want to make sure that this VM does not accidentally get deleted or changed by anyone because it is in production. One of my customers happens to be using this. So I'm going to go into the VM itself, and I would probably want to do this for every resource inside of this production resource group. But I'm just going to use the virtual machine as the primary starting point. Okay, so within this virtual machine, I just need to scroll down here to the locks area. Every single resource has this particular item in their navigation. By default, every machine or every resource inside of Azure does not have any locks associated with it. I'm going to click on lock. I'm going to give this a name of Third Eye VM lock, and then I have the ability to choose a specific lock type. There are two, as you can see here. One of them is delete, the other is read only. Now, a delete lock obviously prevents a admin from being able to delete this particular virtual machine, but it does not prevent them from making changes, such as applying it to a different subnet, or adding disks to it, changing the size of it, things of that nature. The read-only lock, on the other hand, has the ability to control all of those things. So if it is read-only, you can only see it, and therefore you cannot make changes to it, you cannot delete it, you cannot do anything to it other than monitor it and look at the information associated with it. This is extremely important, once again, with respect to your production environment. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, okay, I need to make a change to it. For example, this is a web application, and I found out that my customer is using it a whole lot more than was originally planned. I need to up the size of it. Well, before you can actually do that, you would need to go in here and delete the lock, make the necessary change to the size of the VM, and then re-add in the lock. It's that simple. You'll notice here that the scope is for this particular resource. Now, what does that exactly mean? Well, you can create locks for an entire resource group. If I click on that, I can then look at all of the particular locks for a given resource group, or add locks for all resources in a particular resource group. Same thing at the subscription level. And you might be asking yourself, well, why would you do that? I've worked with a number of customers over the years where their production environment is in one resource group, their development environment is in another, their staging environment is then in a third. It allows them to be able to do cost controls and different security levels for each of those different environments, which absolutely makes sense. And this allows you to therefore apply locks and view locks and manage locks across all of the resources within a given resource group. Otherwise, if we go back, we're only looking at the lock for this in particular resource. And that's all that we're going to look at. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how you can secure your resources inside of Azure. Now, obviously, one thing to keep in mind here is for a very large resource group that has a lot of resources for a large, let's say, e-commerce application, you're not going to want to do this individually on a per resource basis inside of the portal. In that instance, write up a PowerShell script, write up a CLI script, and run that inside of the Azure command line interface and do it from there. Hopefully this gives you more information to help you define your governance policy, and I'll talk to you in the next video.